React with all your insight. Review what feels so right. Criticize the light. Movie shining bright. My opinion is mine. Like a never-ending call. Watch them arise and fall. Stories big and small. Screens light up the hall. I will say it all. React with all your sight. Review the day and night. Criticize is the light. Shows that steal the light. My opinion stands so free. Like a storm upon the sea. Watch them rise and fall. Stories big and small. Scries light up the hall. I will say it all. Quest, react, review, criticize. Quest. React, review. Criticize. Quest. React with all your insight. Review what feels so right. Criticize the light. Movie shining bright. My opinion is mine. Like a never-ending call. Watch them arise and fall. Stories big and small. Screens light up the hall. I will say it all. React with all your sight. Review the day and night. Criticize is the light. Shows that steal the light. My opinion stands so free. Like a storm upon the sea. Watch them rise and fall. Stories big and small. Scries light up the hall. I will say it all. Quest, react, review, criticize. Quest. React, review. Criticize.
Hey guys, Sorry about that little bit of a longer intro there. It's I was getting a bit of lag on my broadband, so I'd quickly shut down any stuff I have in the background. And typical. Give me a second, please.
I'll be back before too long. Gonna find where I belong. Taking time to heal my soul till the pieces make me whole. Walking down this lonely street, memories beneath my
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Things happen. Dog wanted to go out, started whining. I just managed to hear him with these on. I do need to get some new headphones though. Hey David, how you doing? It's good to see you. Yeah, so as I was saying, I've had a little bit of a lag issue on my broadband for some reason, well, on the computer at least. So I had to shut down any other background app that I had running, which is a pain in the ass because I did have a few, but the few ones that normally run in the background and never usually cause any problem. But I shut them all down and it seems to work. It seems to work. So we'll see how this works out. So yeah. So again, welcome. But right, so we're going to be looking at episodes 5 and 6 of Lost in Space on Netflix from 2018. I just can't believe it was 2018. I always thought it was a lot sooner. It wasn't as far as that. I thought it was a lot closer. I thought that season 1 was at least 21, but no, it was 18. It's crazy. Good. I'm okay. A few things, the usual things, animals and stuff. You know, I do have 2 cats and a dog. As you know, you probably heard the whining when before I went on that quick little break to open the back door. But yeah, so we'll get straight into this. I won't talk too much, but you know, if you like what I'm doing, please do hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and comment in the chat or even down in the comment section below. You can also check out the linked, the pinned chat message. That gives you the link to a tipping page or the store page. Please do go and check out the store page, or if you decide to, please do consider supporting the channel by tipping a couple of quid or a couple of bucks. It doesn't matter. It's entirely up to you. I'm not going to force you. The reason I have that is just because I don't believe that YouTube should be allowed to say, oh, you can't do this until you get to a certain amount of subscribers or views or watch hours and stuff. I don't like the way that they monopolize. They make it that difficult for new upcomers. And I know I've been around for a little while, but you know, yeah. I did have a couple of months there, or a few months where I barely did anything, maybe 1 or 2 videos in a month. But you know, yeah, it's difficult sometimes. You've got to tie in your real life with cyber life. So we're going to get into this. We're starting off with episode 5, Transmission. Is this the one with the light? Yeah, it is, isn't it? It is. I do believe it is. Yeah. Right. So going to be hitting play in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Actually, here's a thought. Keep it playing. I'm not going to interrupt it. But what about, did Bailey sit? Did the dog seriously just come in here, stand next to me, fart, and then go back out? Stinky ass. Stinky ass. But yeah, I was thinking that maybe breaking the season up, breaking the show up a bit, maybe doing this week doing season one, and then next week maybe just do something else, another show that has maybe 10 episodes or something. What do you think? Or should it just carry on with Lost in Space straight through? Let me know. That really stinks. It really stinks. Bloody dog. And bloody, is that a moth or a fly? Oh, bloody hell, that stinks. Whatever feels best, Marjan. Yeah, yeah, it's true, but you'd break it up as well. Okay. Okay, over the weekend I'll put a poll up to see, because it doesn't have to be a multi-season show. Um, maybe it can be something else. Maybe it's something that had one season. I mean, I'd love to do Space Above and Beyond if that was available anywhere. I think it is available to buy on Amazon, but I'm not going to buy it. I don't want you guys to buy it just to watch it with me. There are other ways, but less uh, reputable ways. But I'm not going to do that. He's not a boy. He is not a boy. Will is a boy. Will is your brother. The boy that is not a boy is the guy that you have a crush on. He's a bit of a nosy ass, isn't he? I mean, despite the fact that he is not in charge of anything until they get to the colony. Maybe be like 20% nicer. Okay. Yep, busted. You lost it. There was a lot of forgiveness going around in this episode. Oops. See what happens when you turn down help. Yeah. And why didn't she anchor it to the rover? She didn't have to put a stake in the ground. She could have tied it to the. She could have connected it to the rover and used the rover as the anchor, right? But I don't think that balloon would be big enough to lift that rover. Yeah, sure. They'll all pass. Yep, that's definitely what will happen. Oh, look, it's dance. Whiskey. Oof. Gotta like that. Click. I like the pop and click. Busted again. Yep, he's here now. Yeah. A-hole dad. A-hole dad. Did no one think to actually point out where to put them instead of complaining about them being in the wrong place? Did he make sure he knew that his son knew where to set up instead of moaning about it? Helping. She only helped with like one MRE packet and one box. Come on, man, you can get another box on that trolley. Seriously. To answer his question, yes, it probably is sentient. Sentient AI. done helping him. I don't think she's actually helped anyone, has she? He's exactly who you think he is. Boots would be a valuable resource. Yeah, it's a pointless thing. Is so that scarf or whatever. I don't think it's a cravat though, is it? I think a cravat is a different thing, isn't it? That lads wear. Sure it will. Sure it will. Sure it will. I bet it's pretty warm underneath that as well. Does she not consider the fact that, or even the people who created that fence, what did they think that maybe it would be a good idea if the devices themselves on the fence could record the last person to turn it on or off? I think that would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Especially on a wireless thing like that. Nice hair. You look great. It's just a bug. Hawking radiation. Fuck. Language. Language. Yacht. Messing with the few only people that trust you. Bastard. Tell me how a creature that size would get that close without someone noticing. So you've got a problem with power. You can't generate new power, so you've got a battery supply that relies on solar charging. You're in a tent. You have a light on so you can see what you're doing in the tent, and then you leave the tent and you leave the light on. Why would you do that, knowing that the energy is important? You know, you need it. You wouldn't leave it on, would you? You'd turn it off because you didn't want to waste it. Just a thought. Mhm. Yeah, and it attracts those bugs. So even in the tent, they would see it through the cracks in the entrance. But I still don't understand how it got halfway up the tower without someone noticing. It was literally halfway up the tower when it roared, and they realized, and then they found out it was there. So does that make sense? bad. Be bad. Do it. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Nicked another bottle of Dawn's whiskey. Why not? Why the hell not, huh? Okay, that's episode 5. Doke. We'll move on to episode 6 shortly. So, what's going on here? Right, I am going to take a quick break. I'll be back shortly. Mostly just to feed the cat. The cat came in, so I'll be back shortly.
I'll be back before too long. Gonna find where I belong. Taking time to heal my soul, till the pieces make me whole. Walking down this lonely street, memories beneath my feet. Every step feels bittersweet, but I know what I must mean. I'll be standing strong and true, facing skies of brightest blue. All this storm I will push through. I'll be back to shine with you. Days go by like passing trains, washing down the past like rain, building up what time has slain, stronger from the joy and pain. Walking down this lonely street, memories beneath my feet. Every step feels bittersweet, but I know what I must mean. I'll I'll be standing strong and true, facing skies of brightest blue. Every storm I will push through. I'll be back to shine with you. I'll be standing strong and true, facing sky the brightest blue. Every storm I will push through. I'll be back to shine with you. Drifting in endless space, a curtain of stars embrace, a veil of cosmic grace, floating through time and place. Silent echoes all around, no beginning to be found, weightless in this endless sound. We are stardust burning bright, dancing through the endless night, lost in everlasting light. We are stardust burning bright, riding on a comet's trail. Through the void we softly sail, past the moon so cold and pale, where no earthly winds prevail. Silent echoes all around, no beginning to be found, weightless in this endless sand. We are stardust.
Okay, I'm back, guys. I'm back. Yeah. So I would have been back a little bit quicker, but the cat decided he didn't want to start straight away, so he sniffed it, went out, came back in, went out again, came back in, sniffed it again, and then started eating. So, yeah, he's a bit of a pain. And he's come back to me. Blue. Come on. Out. Go on. Go on. Go on. Stop it. No. I'll give you a stroke, but I'm not going to give you more food for you to walk away from like you just did. Especially with the dog in the house. It's a waste because, you know, dogs don't get as much out of the food that you do. It's specifically designed for cats, not dogs. Anyway, right. So we're going to be starting episode 6 shortly. Eulogy. So yeah, we're going to start that in a second. And but what do you think of episode 5? I mean, it's just continuation of the good. Blue, I'm live. Yeah, it just continues to get to be good. I mean, it just doesn't slip on any of the entertainment value, story-wise, visually. Although there were questions, obviously. How the hell does that creature get halfway up that tower, which is made out of metal? So it made noise when after it roared. How does it get up there that without being noticed? How did it get that far into camp without being noticed? I mean, yeah, you probably say, yeah, they're probably stalkers, so they know how to be quiet. But it's not exactly small, is it? What else? Yep, when Maureen pegged the balloon into the ground before before filling it up. Why didn't she just tie it to the rover? Would have made more sense. Um, and where did the hose go? Because the hose was connected to the balloon, wasn't it? If I remember rightly, but it wasn't connected to the air pump or whatever they want, or the gas tank. That's weird. Was it air filled balloon or was it gas? I mean, you would think gas, wouldn't you? Uh, hmm. But yeah, there's questions. There's questions. Why would they do it a certain way, not the more efficient way? Uh, but anyway, Blue, I am live. Love you. Goodbye. Well, hopefully that means he won't be back for a little while. But yeah, let's let's get into this and we'll talk a bit more afterwards. But if you've just joined us, please do hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Consider checking the links in the pinned chat on to the tipping page if you want to support the channel, or the store page where you can see you find some pretty good merch. All right, let's get into this, and we're going to hit play now. Ba-boom. Does Netflix still do that with their newer shows? Do they still have the da-dong? I don't remember hearing it recently. Or maybe I just haven't watched much on Netflix. Who knows? So it just froze for about a second there. Mm. Yeah, maybe it's just one of those things. Maybe I just haven't noticed it. It may be to done, but it sounds more like da dum. Da-dum. Of course you don't. Why would you? You've known it for like 3 days. Come on, seriously. I mean, David, I don't trust how silly Netflix can be when they keep buying stuff from people that are not popular. Like, I think you know who I'm talking about. Bless you, baby. In case you don't know, Myrtle. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Live event show. Disney do live event shows like that where they showcase up and coming movies and shows. Works very well for them, doesn't it? Yeah, lay on the. Did you see that fly to the camera? Bloody great big moth. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's like they do it with the BBC. I mean, if you know, I've noticed that the BBC is showing up on Amazon. BBC stuff's showing up on Netflix. The problem is, in the UK, if you do not have a TV license, you cannot watch BBC, ITV, or any of their content. That's the issue that I have with them, with the BBC. So technically, I am not allowed to watch ITVX stuff on on Disney or Amazon or anywhere without a TV license because you know it's a terrestrial station in the UK and we need a license to watch it. Not that there's anything ever any good on it anyway. And I'm wondering if that's part of the deal with BBC going out the window because since with how poorly Doctor Who did on Disney, the fact that it's not being continued under contract with Disney, then they're not paying for any more to be made. I wonder if that's why Disney have got ITV stuff now because that's to say screw you to BBC. Possibly. Because technically, ITV stuff and BBC stuff, even though it appears on streaming, under the terms of the TV license, it's made for TV content. So it's got the ITV label on it. It's made for TV content. Didn't think of that. Nah, it's odd. Why do you think that BBC are trying to get um, people who watch Netflix? They want Netflix and Amazon to pay for our TV license. Does that make sense? So they would want a service charge added to our subscription fee to pay for a TV license under a new tax. So, well, hang on a minute. Why is a private company like the BBC trying to get um, money out of tax when isn't it only the government that can get that? And the government were considering it. Yeah, exactly, David. Yeah, exactly. You have to think about the terms and conditions of the TV licensing and the fact that BBC content is all marked as that, as well as ITV, comes under the same clause, I suppose you could say. Because we all know that they cannot detect, when you're watching a channel. Most of it is that they'll come to the house and sometimes they might not even knock on the door, but they'll listen. They'll listen through the door or they'll put their ear to the window to see if they could recognize what you're watching, as well as looking through the window if there's a crack to see, because under their terms of conditions, they have the right to enter your property and check if you're receiving, stuff. Like if they just see a TV, it doesn't have to be switched on. If they see a TV through a crack in the curtains in the window, through the window, then they technically say that they have the right to enter the property to inspect. You know, if they see a PlayStation, they don't even have to see a TV or a monitor. Or if they see if they see a PlayStation on a desk or something, then technically they say, "Oh, we have to inspect that to see if BBC or anything like that is installed on it." It's funny how it went from receiving the signal to owning a TV now, right? You can't own a TV without technically having a TV license under their idea of it. But yeah, they are sneaky bastards. Yes, they can. Technically, that's what they believe they can by law enter the property if they see you with a phone, or even see a phone on a table or on the side on the arm of a chair, because you can watch content because you can watch their that content on your phone, can't you? You can have the BBC app just like my PlayStation 4 has the BBC app in on it. I can't get rid of it. Can't get rid of it. It will not let me uninstall it. It's there, but it's not logged into. But it's there. It won't let me uninstall the app. I think the smart TVs do the same thing. You can't uninstall the BBC app from there or remove the button, the tab. Only we never actually see that fire, do we? I don't think it ever fires. Oh, it does actually, doesn't it? I think it does. Can't remember. Yeah, it doesn't. I can't. I won't say anything in case anyone watching hasn't seen it. Yeah, let someone else save the day for once. Doesn't have to be the Robinsons. Bring the fuel back safely. Anyway. Yeah, some stupid idiots have. Talk about decompartmentalizing. Can they not take those things off of speaker? I mean, it's essentially a mobile phone, right? Which more capable than what we can do it for. Although technically, if we had a smart house, probably do this a lot of the stuff that they do from your mobile, from your smartphone, right? Not like that, you know. Give me five, Johnny five. On the side, down low, too slow. Give Ooh. It's a good pick of music for this part. No, it can't actually, because it's probably only doing 30 miles an hour, maybe 40 at most. Take that back. 30, 40. No, they're only doing about 20, 25 at most. It looks like she's having fun. Can we? No, you can't. Miserable bee study. No, you cannot have fun. Last chance? Hmm. There's always a last chance. Hammer. So how would you know that the trees only have one ring? You're telling me that despite the fact that you didn't need to cut a tree down for food, you didn't need to build shelter or anything like that, but one of the first things you did was cut down a tree when you arrived? Really? Why would you cut down a tree? You don't need to. So how would you know that the trees only have one ring? Maybe, but you'd still need to cut the fallen tree, wouldn't you, to see the lines inside? Because where it breaks, you wouldn't necessarily see it, would you? That's if it's a broken one. Oh, did you notice that in that cut, he had St. Christopher's medal around his neck. In this one, he doesn't because it was caught on the jacket. Did you notice? There it is. It was caught on the button part of the jacket. You didn't notice? Hmm. Okay. I hope it means the auxiliary tank. In my imagination, did one of those moons look blue? Possible atmosphere on one of their moons? Half the time. He does what you say half the time, Will. Monument, huh? Come on, Angela, tell us what it smelled like. Was it smelled like a barbecue or something like that, you know? Doesn't he remind you of the kid from AI, Artificial Intelligence? His hair maybe a little bit darker. So he said he didn't want any help. We let him help. Right guy behind the wheel. Or right girl. It should be the right person. Thing is, weight wouldn't be an issue either because the heavier the rover is, the more traction it will achieve as a result, right? Because it does look like a four-wheel drive, so the weight would actually help. It's funny how she gets a walking stick to help her walk, but Maureen didn't bother. She just has the brace, right? I don't understand why they were closing the hatches either. Hmm. 9,000 RPM. Hmm. That first one was an a-hole. Yeah, didn't count the people before detaching. I mean, they're all on the same radio frequency as well, aren't they? Otherwise, what's the point in them all being there and talking on the bloody radio? I mean, Judy didn't switch frequencies when between talking to that one guy and then Dawn, was it Dawn? Right? She didn't change frequencies. She had the bloody mic in her hand for crying out loud. But anyway, yeah, he's a badass princess. I wonder if they didn't think about him because you know they wouldn't have to pay him then, would they? If he wasn't with them when they get to Alpha Centauri. Think about that. unwilling sacrifice. Yeah. Well, he knew what he was doing. I mean, he obviously knew a way to get off. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done it because he wouldn't do the sacrifice. He's not that kind of person. Mm. The emergency lighting is a bit of a dramatic thing, right? It's a bit too dramatic for the scene, right? I think. Just a flashing red light would be perfectly fine, right? Or a blinking one, maybe. I mean, what did they have in Star Trek? They had a light near the door and stuff, didn't they? To signify it's red alert. In TNG, they had the bar along the corridors and around the bridge. Why does everything need to flash white, black, red, white? I don't get it. An emergency, if it goes black, you can't see what the emergency is. Makes it a bit too dramatic. And think about the expanse. when they were on the Rocinante or on the Martian warships, um, the mood lighting was different. For Earth ships or UN ships, the lighting was red, so it would go to a red lighting but it would stay red. And for Mars, it would go blue for the war, for the emergency light or attack lighting or whatever. So why have a flashing red, black, white? Doesn't make sense. I know I said black. So yeah, might as well dance, I guess. You're right. But just in my opinion, if you want to, make sure that people understand that you're being attacked or you're about to attack or something like this emergency, dim the lights and then add bread or in like in the Expanse, the Martians had blue for their emergency lighting. Doesn't matter. Just add the color, but dim the lights. Don't you know? Typical. Okay, that's the end of that one. Right, and episode 7 is ready to go for tomorrow. Right, so yeah, let me just take these off. Oh, don't need them anymore. Hang on a minute. Just look, there is. Right, so what do you think, guys? The usual, I guess. Make sure. Yeah, but there are obviously some things in there that I had issues with, like just simple things like emergency lighting. You know, it's interesting. We don't actually see the gun fire. I mean, is it an energy-based weapon, or does it have, or is it something else? Um, in that time period, um, despite the fact that I think in season 3, season 2, season 3, we see different weapons. But is it an energy weapon? It sounded like an energy weapon, but it also sounded like it could be a high-powered gas weapon. It uses compressed gas to fire a slug. But it's weird because we don't see we see the robot getting shot by it, but we never actually see the gun fire. we know it fires because we hear it. Yeah, flashing lights and epilepsy don't mix. That's exactly right. Um, it's also distracting. I mean, the last thing you want in an emergency situation is the distraction of a light flashing, and the main lights going out. I mean, it's ridiculous to think that. I mean, you don't want a distraction. Um, I mean, there's a reason why they use red for emergency lighting in the Navy, right? It's not just because it's red, which is the color of blood and the color of, that we use to represent danger and stuff like that. But it's also the fact that um, it gets your eyes ready for if it goes dark. So when we see Vietnam films or films where or shows where they're on an aircraft, an airplane or a helicopter, and there's a red light, and you know, and they're sitting there like in Predator, the helicopter, the light's red. It's to get their eyes used to the dark, so they don't have to adjust, don't have the adjustment period that you would normally have going from light to dark. But and it's also the fact that it 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 makes it easier for them to see the monitors in front of them and the dials and controls. Right? It's all right having the light like this. You can see perfectly fine, but everything around you is going to be a distraction. So when you dim the light or change it to the red and don't have it flashing, then you can actually concentrate more on what you're doing in front of you. You can see the monitor better. You can see the dials better, the controls better, despite the fact that there's less light. In fact, you can see the displays better simply because there's no reflections. There's less reflection coming off of things, right? I'm going on about bloody the mood lighting, But anyway, it's ridiculous, silly me. But yeah, there's a few things like cutting down a tree to see how many rings there are. What's the point in cutting? You would I mean that's how you would know that the trees only have one ring. You, it's just it's odd. I mean, yeah, you would maybe he cut down a tree to use that to have that fire because he had a fire at one point, didn't he? But then you would wonder, well, wait, hang on, wait. If you use the logic that you would have in camping, you don't cut trees down or can't cut branches. You use what's on the ground. You use fallen branches and fallen trees. So maybe he did cut up a fallen tree, but you know we don't see the representation on screen of him cutting up a tree. We know he had a fire, which could just be twigs. So yeah. That's right. I'm going to think about what to do next week because I think I will break it up and have a different show next week. But I don't know what one yet. I'll see what I can find out. Maybe something different. Maybe some anime. Something if there's because I think there's some anime that you can watch on Netflix and Amazon Prime. Yeah, it might be pretty good. Um, I think Netflix has Mobile Suit Requiem, don't they? Mobile Suit Gundam Requiem, which wasn't that good. Do they still have the Terminator series on there? That wasn't very good. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll take a look and I will find out. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging. I wasn't sure about how this would go, but it seems to be going okay so far. Getting about the level of views that I expect, or I thought I would get. So that's pretty good. So yeah, but please do hit that like, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'm going to call it there. And if you fancy supporting the channel, do consider clicking the link in the description because the chat will disappear soon. To the tipping page where you can tip as much as you like. I think there's no minimum, so it's entirely up to you. And yeah, and you can also check out the link to the store also in the description. So yeah, until next time, guys, take care, stay safe, May the Schwartz be with you. You see that? I did the wrong button. Later, guys.
With all your insight, review what feels so right. Criticize the light, movie shining bright. My opinion is mine, like a never-ending call. Watch them rise and fall. Stories big and small. Screens light up the hall. I will say it all. React with all your sight. Review the day and night. Criticize is the light. Shows that steal the light. My opinion stands so free, like a storm